All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of Gar Capital. It is Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. October 3rd, 2024. Already in the fourth quarter, new month, as we know. We just started. Didn't start off well in terms of the market, but rolling along through 2024. Before you know it, it's going to be 2025. How great. Time flies when you're having fun, team. Let's go ahead and get started. Dow futures are down 153 points. Nasdaq's down about 90 points, S&P down 0.26%, the Russell down 0.56%. Yesterday was pretty flat in the market, just a top chop zone all the way around since the flush on Tuesday from the Middle East conflict headlines. So we're still just watching the market, and it's like watching paint dry right now, team. Yes, the futures are red, but it's been stuck in this channel. Let's go and take a look at QQQ for a second, and you can see since the initial drop on Tuesday, it's just been chilling, nothing going on. Bring up SPY. And yeah, I mean, really since September 18th, you've just been stuck. Yes, we've had all-time highs here and there towards the tail end of September. But if we break this down in the short term, Monday pop, sideways, Tuesday drop, sideways. So the question remains now, do we get out here at 570 on SPY and see if we get a little bit of a push higher? Or are we going to start testing some lows here around the 564.36 to 565 area? But as of right now, it seems that we're just stuck within this school zone speed chop, let's just say 15 miles an hour when we should be going higher about 60 to 70 miles an hour, for example. 10-year treasury yields 3.821. That is up this morning. Dollar index is up 101.90. Remember, we were at the $100 level. Usually when the dollar spikes, stocks do take a hit with it since they are dollar denominated assets. But the stock market has been kind of relatively holding up well, even with the dollar spike. The VIX, 1994, right at 20. We know that anything above 20, that's when there's a little bit of a cause of concern in terms of volatility spiking higher. But 20 has been a level that has been rejected a couple times this week. Crude oil is up 2.47%. We had crude oil inventories yesterday, so energy is starting to get a spike. That could be due to the fears from the Middle East headlines. Iran is an oil producer. OPEC headlines talking about cutting back production. It's all about fixing the price that benefits the producers and also benefits the consumers, or try to be. $2.02 for gasoline futures, up 2.23% this morning. Gold is down 26.65, down marginally 0.17%. Silver down 0.23%. Copper down 2.37%. Blame the dollar. The big mover, dollar yen overnight. Was watching some headlines on that because the Nikkei was up 3% in initial trading. You could see that spike, but it's been absolutely volatile. Again, really since the fall in July 5th, it's been stuck in a range very similar to the S&P in the shorter time frames. Pound dollar down 155 pips, 131.17. Bitcoin future 60,690, up 0.43%. Ethereum down 0.78%. Let's go ahead and take a look at QQQ. And I have QQQ calls, so I'm starting off with that. And you could see here, guys, it's I mean, not much of a trend change other than this drop here, again, from those headlines on Tuesday in the morning. We've just been stuck. So I'm looking for 484 to break finally, but yesterday was just sideways. After the initial fall in the morning, we bounced, and then we just kind of went nowhere fast, basically. So the goal here is to see, even with decent news, like we just had with the, let's see if I could find it here. This is the unemployment claims, 225,000 jobless claims. The expectation was 222. The continuation claims, I mean, people are still unemployed, was less than expected. Granted, when it comes to the initial jobless claim, we just had a hurricane. So usually that does affect the initial jobless claims number. I would expect next week's to be a little higher than expected. I don't know if they changed that number for this week since the hurricane literally just hit. So those people who are looking for claims, jobless claims that are in the affected areas, that number will probably be updated next week. So expect a little bit of a tick higher. I don't think it was this week, probably a little too soon or possibly cut off. See, that was the week ending the 28th of September. So We'll see next week's claims as well. But the big one is the non-farm payroll report. That is tomorrow. But keep in mind, neither of these prints from today, the claims, pertains to the survey week from the September jobs report. That's due tomorrow. So none of that is going to matter really till tomorrow is when we'll really get a good snapshot of where the jobs are going or if we're still adding jobs to this economy. Keep in mind as well, guys, there is revisions. This is a flash number. So anytime you go to Forex Factory, you see any kind of these economic data points, and it says the word flash, that's just the initial reading. That can be revised. When it says final, that's it. No more revisions. Think of it. No more bets on the roulette wheel. That's it. When the hand goes over the wheel, that's it. It's very simple. That's kind of the final. Let's take a look at some of the trades that I am watching. Google sideways. So right now, we got that pop to 170. Still thinking that we're going to get there. That was part of the watch list. Meta, nothing has really changed here. If we go to the daily, you can see very beautiful price action. Still stuck in that upward range, upward channel. Still looking for 600 on Meta. Right now, again, like I said, with NASDAQ, it's pretty much just Flatsville. Tesla. Yeah, tough on this one. The deliveries number did not work out for us, and it is down this morning. So let's see how the price action goes. Let's see how NFP goes, but looks like this one's going to be an L. Unfortunately, Tesla did let us down. The goal was to have the trade open, and then Tuesday we'll get the run up into the print. Even Goldman Sachs is bullish on Tesla for the month with the robo-taxi and the deliveries. Didn't work out. Their recommendation in terms of Goldman Sachs was to buy the 255 calls. So that was a little closer to the money than mine, but they got it wrong too. So Goldman Sachs and I need to have a conversation on how to look out for Tesla together. It didn't work out this time, unfortunately. And of course, I went over QQQ. And again, all of this could change throughout the day. First thing in the morning, if we go to the 15-minute chart, you could see first thing in the morning yesterday, big drop at 9:30, and then a bounce right around at 10 in the morning. So we just got to be careful out there. Just going to watch. And I usually kind of go by this premise. If I'm not sure, I don't do anything. I sit on my hands, and all I do is read the news, and I look at the charts for anything that's different. I always have a watch list here at the bottom left-hand corner of my screen, and I'm always looking at what's changing. My alerts are already set on tons of names. So even commodities or bonds, anything that cracks in terms of an alert, then I'll take a look at it. But I let the system do the work for me. I'm not staring at 9 different charts every single second. I have 4 that I look at, and then I have a watch list. And again, if that's starting to move or I get a little ding and a little alert here and there, that's when I'll make a move and read about it. So the preface of this conversation is the fact that all the stuff that I'm looking at, if you are a member, is on the Market Watch channel on Discord. So this is just for Signal members. And again, I break down everything that I see. So think of the Market Watch as the trading floor where you're just sitting literally next to me. We're having a cup of coffee together and we're talking about the market. Everything that I see that stands out, I'm going to go ahead and post it on the Market Watch. For example, the Nike trade. I didn't trade Nike this week for the earnings, but again, I broke it down. I was thinking that we were going to have more upside. It didn't work out, but I did not signal that. I just broke it down. But the other one that stood out was FXI and BABA. I think we had a question regarding that, or I was talking about it. I just got to look for it. I know a lot of stuff. Let's see if I can find it. FXI, or BABA. Where is it? How much stuff I have. So many pieces of information needed. Here we go. This is on the 24th of September, FXI. I mean, the November 15th contracts. I wish I got them, but this is the reason why I'm bringing it up. One of our members did catch it here. I mean, and again, I did not single this out, but shout out to Mike Nismo. I mean, for holding that. 20 contracts of FXI, 600%. Great. And shout out to Swaggy for trading Baidu and BILI. So, you know, if it's not signals, that's fine, but at least have the information so you guys can make your own decisions. And that's the key. So those 2 members, you know, again, it wasn't a signal, but it's the information that helps them make their own decisions. At the end of the day, guys, you're in control. You decide what you think is best for the market or for your money or how you trade. All right, enough of me talking. Let's answer some questions. Scotty says, good morning. Good morning, brother, man. Morning, Carlos. Google levels. Google. Yes. And I'm doing GOOG because that's what I'm watching. But 165.53 is support. This is not bearish. Obviously, we have been retesting this 165 level since we've broken out of it, and we've been defending each time. Now, unless we get a sell-off immediately on NASDAQ here and there, and we are red, we should be able to hold up. We may get an initial flush initially, but as long as we're holding above the 50-day MA around 163, we should be okay. We're looking to tag this 100 MA at 172. And really the prize is right here at 183.42. So that's really what we're looking for. I think you stay long Google until you get to that 183 level on the stock. Hi from the left coast. Haven't heard anything about FCX lately. FCX. Good old copper. And good thing you didn't do anything because copper is down this morning. So you could see really just a drop, double bottom bounce, and then another rejection of 52. If we can break 54.31 painless, then I think we can go long. But as of right now, this isn't the best. Looks like a whole ton of chop. Bitcoin, BITO, Mara, Coin. The four horsemen of Bitcoin, right? Does BITO look anything bullish? No. So BITO, nope, not looking at that. Let's take a look at Bitcoin futures. Bitcoin futures still stuck in this channel that I've talked about. Really until we get above 67, 68 is where we can talk about a nice recovery in it. But I still say 50K with an October surprise is possible. So again, just be careful on Bitcoin. I think you're just hanging out here. If you start getting around the 50K area, that's a buy the dip level. But we ain't there yet. So soon, maybe 10K discount possibly on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Mara. Yeah, Mara doesn't look bullish. Downward trend line, which is broken out, false breakout. And you could see just heading lower, if anything. So not much there. Let's take a look at Coinbase. Yep, downward trend, breakout, rejection. Just a slop. So break above 201, we can talk, but we ain't there yet. That's the 200-day MA. Let's take a look at AMD puts. I actually was looking at calls because I want to break 170 so I can play this gap fill at 175 or 174.55. We are not there yet. We are still stuck in this channel here. I'm expecting this to break out the way Tesla did, for example. See how that broke out this channel initially and then pulled back? That's what I'm looking for, AMD. But we just aren't there yet. We just ain't there yet. So we need 170. If we are looking for puts, we need to break below 153 or so. And then we could take a look at the 146 level. That's the 50. So let's place an alert below 153.56 together. And then we can target 145. And again, if this thing gets ugly, let's say in October, markets pull back, which is definitely possible. We know this. Again, we have a nice road path down to around the 108 area. Remember here, we were testing this trend line, this channel, same thing. So again, we're just looking to see if we break out, and if we reject and we start breaking down, we got a little bit of room here. All right, we got a nice little air pocket that we can go ahead and short to. So no real rush there. Good morning. Thoughts on MCD? Good old McDonald's. Let's go to the weekly. It's breakout, at least on the weekly. Yep, pretty much breaking out here. Anything above 100, 300, you're good. Yeah, it's pretty much your target level. Even if things started getting worse, McDonald's, in a sense, is still cheaper food. People tend to trade down in a recession. If there was one, again, we're nowhere near one. But McDonald's is, great margins depending on the franchise here and there. But just price action alone, above 300, you're pretty good. DraftKings, yes, good old DraftKings. Just a heads up, we have 55 consecutive days of football starting tonight, college and pros. How fun. Bullish on football and fantasy football, 37.51. That is your 100-day moving average. If that does break, then 35.74 is your 50. You could see this upward wedge where we have rejected 42 and came back down. The question remains here, with this price action initially in October, does this slide the high betas like a DraftKings? Let's see. That's really it. You can see 42 again rejected. This scares me, the 200-day. We need to recapture that as soon as possible. I just don't want this to break down to 34.41 quickly unless we get something crazy happening in the Middle East. And you would think, oh, DraftKings, why would that be affected? All stocks are commoditized. You know, it's just numbers on a screen nowadays. It has nothing to do with the management, nothing to do with the fundamentals. It's just algo selling immediately without asking any questions. SOXX. This is the semiconductor ETF. The problem with the semiconductor ETF is that they're leveraged. If you're trading this, break above 240, you have a gap at 257. That would be the target that you're looking for. Amazon. All right, if we're looking for calls on Amazon, here's what we're looking for. You need to stay above 183.50. In my opinion, I think 190 is a good start, but we're just not there yet. Look at this sideways action. They just announced, Amazon, that they're going to increase 250,000 jobs, seasonal jobs, for the holiday season. That tells me there's demand for their products and services, and hiring is up. So even if it's seasonal, it's still money being made. People are going to consume. So I do like Amazon higher. It's just sideways, pretty much dead money since March of this year. Look at this. Nothing. Sideways. How do you trade this? Very, very difficult. Be careful of the 200 level, Scotty. 200 level, I call that the Bezos zone, where he has been selling into that $200 level. So again, just be careful. Keep the strike tight on it. But if you want to buy the stock here, I think that's fine. I don't think there's an issue with buying it here. I just think that when you're in a zone, it really doesn't matter in terms of where you go. The question remains, do we get the breakout eventually? Yes. October? That's really the only concern I have, is just the month of October. To be fair, I had the same concern in September, and September was green. So maybe I should just stay afraid forever. NVIDIA. We talked about this. Nice setup here. And again, still looking for 125. If we can get above 125, then we are planning, or I am planning, to go long to 130. And that's really all we need. If we reject, then you got until 100. So between 100 to 125, $25 range, and you're just stuck here. We just had a great month in September in terms of the stock market. So, you know, starting slow in terms of October is kind of normal, I guess. But we just have to see if there's any continuation to the weakness is all. And if there is, we just have to prepare ourselves accordingly. Shout out to everybody watching on Instagram. Thank you guys so much. We are live on Instagram and on YouTube. I appreciate everybody who is watching and supporting. I was thinking about kind of changing the time in terms of the morning note. Is 9 a.m. either too late or too early? It seems like that seems to be the money spot, because we have the non-farm payroll at 8:30, and we get to kind of see the movement afterwards. If we do our morning note at 6 a.m., you know, we're not going to have any news. And if we do it at 10 a.m., no one's going to watch. So I'm still trying to figure out what's that sweet spot for everybody to watch. The good news is that if you do miss the morning note, it is on YouTube, so you can watch it anytime. We got tons of videos in there. October 17th, in 2 weeks, Gar Capital turns 10 years old. Can't wait. I just wanted to say that out loud because I'm so proud of everyone who's a part of this company and made this company great. I mean, 10 years is amazing. So very proud. I know. Proud papa. What can I say? Have a great rest of your morning. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. I will catch you guys again in the Market Watch channel if you're part of the Signals group on our Discord server, or we'll catch you on the server in general if you haven't joined already. Again, the server is free. The live market blog is free. So we would love to have you on board and be part of GAR. Have a great rest of your morning. I will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers all.